Hi, Fiona Lewis here from Super Savvy Business, and today I'd like to talk to you about planning out your content. Now, you hopefully have already got an editorial calendar, you know what you've got coming up and the type of content you're going to be publishing. As I've mentioned in previous videos, what part of this process should also involve doing proper keyword research and ensuring that you're optimizing your content for that particular keyword. Now, you may be scratching your head and thinking, well, I hear you use this word optimizing content for keywords, but I'm not really sure what that means, Fiona. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time now explaining what some of the simple processes are and what you should be doing with your content once you know which keyword that you're going to be targeting. So first of all, one rule of thumb is to ensure that you have a minimum of 400 words on your page. The top ranking pages on average have 400 words or more. So if you find that you're having fairly thin content, then in the eyes of Google, that's not really going to be seen as quality. So that's just one little tip that I'd like to cover off on before we talk about optimizing the content. So let's imagine now you have your content of 400 words plus and you know what your keyword is. What's the next step? Okay, so step one. Make sure you integrate your keyword into the heading or the title of your content itself. That will go in what is known as the H1 tags. Now, don't go too overboard here, only put the keyword once. If you put it more than that, then it's likely that you may be flagged as trying to spam with and keyword stuff, and that's certainly not something you want to do as far as Google is concerned. So step two, now that you have the keyword in your heading, the other thing to do is to embed the keyword within the body of your content and perhaps even put a variation of that keyword or different ways of phrasing the same thing, and you can do that a couple of times. Once again though, don't go overboard, don't do it too much, but it is important that you have the keyword in there because then it shows that the content is relevant to the title of the blog itself. So step three, this is where it gets a little bit technical, and if you aren't involved in the back end of your website and putting content up, this is something that you probably should learn about. There's something called meta tags, and every page on your website should have the meta tags completed. Otherwise, Google will choose what to display in the search results, which sometimes isn't the best. You want to be able to control them. So the two types of meta tags I'd like to talk about is the meta title and the meta description. If you imagine doing a Google search right now for the keyword dog wash Sydney, what you will find in the search results is a series of listings. Now, in those series of listings, you're going to see a title for each listing and a description. Now, the title you see is the blue clickable link, and that is what we call the meta title. The couple of lines underneath is a meta description. Okay, now you can actually set those for your blogs, and it's a good idea to put your keyword in the meta title and in the meta description. And one way to draw attention to your title is to use engaging copy that's going to grab the attention of the user, and also to capitalize each word. Now, another strategy that you might want to use is using bold or italics with your keywords. Now, don't go overboard with this. This is a strategy that was overused up until recently by people, and it can be seen as spammy. So perhaps do it once at most. Otherwise, you might be flagged as trying to do the wrong thing and to rort the system, so to speak. Now, finally, once you have your content done and optimized, then it's time to publish. Now, the final step here is to do some internal linking. So go through your pages within your site and look to find relevant places to do a link from one page on your site to your new piece of content. Now, it has to be in the right places. Don't just put it where it's not relevant and it's out of place, but find good places where you can link from one article or one static page to your new blog post. Internal linking structure is a really good way to keep people engaged and on your site. So if they're reading content that they're actually interested in and they see a link off to something else that's related to that, then you can keep people longer on your site. Now, obviously, the longer people stay on your site, the better quality it's seen to be in the eyes of Google, and your site will gain more authority. So there you have it, some very simple ways that you can do your on-page optimization for your long-tail keywords when you publish your blogs. My name is Fiona Lewis from Super Savvy Business, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time we have an update.